Hello everyone, you are listening to Nathan from Switch Player Magazine. Hey, how we doing? Hi guys. Today I'm going to be checking out the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity demo. So join me in these first impressions as I play through the Breath of the Wild prequel. For anybody that doesn't know, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is a prequel to Breath of the Wild in the style of a Warriors or Musou game. And it sees you playing out the events of the war 100 years before Breath of the Wild. But there is a couple of little differences, and yeah, just join in. I'm going to try not to chat too much, but I will talk about my feelings. But I hope everyone kind of, I hope this gives you a good idea of what the game does and doesn't do. And I think it looks great. I've already played this demo, playing it again for the purposes of this. I think it looks ruddy lovely. This doesn't, obviously. Hyrule's having a bad time here. There he is, big boy Ganon. Running around the place. Lots of Guardians. Being a menace, as they normally are. This looks really good as well. I know it's... I think it's all within the Breath of the Wild engine. I'm not entirely sure whether they fit it to the Breath of the Wild engine, or it's on the Musou engine the other way around. But they've worked hard, and it looks great. Visually. Frame rate is a different thing, but I'm not going to go on about that too much here. Go on, Zelda. Stop it. You can do it. She finally does her magic hand power. Here we go. Wee little egg boy. I love him. Part Wally, part BB-8. Smart move. Making something so cute and marketable. Oh, that egg's sad. Don't blame him. It is sad. Right, that little melody sounds like Gary Newman Cars to me. I don't know if that's just me. Dun dun. I'm sure it's a Zelda melody, but it sounds like Gary Newman. Whoa. Nice. So there's two Guardians on a lot of these Divine Beasts, which is interesting. A little Guardian that went back through time. So it is interesting. This does seem to be changing the story a little bit. Oh, Age of Calamity. It just looks great, doesn't it? Yeah, look, so here he is. Sorry, I'm just moving my mic. Our little egg boy has been blasted through time. Here's our lad. Look. King Rum.
Listen well, soldiers of Hyrule.
What a beard.
In our long history, we have
It's like King Trident from The Little Mermaid, and I love it.
The years have passed quickly since Calamity Ganon's revival was prophesied. Yes, we have unearthed the divine beasts and filled volumes with our knowledge of ancient relics. But a barricade of books will not protect us. This way surges a horde like we have never faced before. Even now, the enemy is clawing for our throat. For Hyrule Castle itself.
There's a lot of enemies, you're right there.
We must exterminate the monsters roaming Hyrule Field. Thus, we'll begin our renewed effort to stop the Calamity.
Look at that great sword.
Now, go forth and be brave for your kingdom!
pretty blue eyes, Link. You look great. Nice, here we go. Right, straight into it. So, as we can see immediately, we are on a set map, as you can see in the bottom right. It looks very much like Breath of the Wild. Look at this grass, look at the soldiers going around, look at the enemies over there. It's incredible how they've translated this game world into set levels. Right, let's go. We can, yeah. Let's go smash up some enemies. Go on. Yeah. So, it feels fairly similar when using Link to a lot of the stuff from Breath of the Wild. So, also every controllable character has a unique action, as we can see here. Link's is the bow, which is weird to control. It doesn't feel very good, but that is with motion controls as well, by the way. So I don't really know what's going on there. But it's pretty good for combos. I've done the unique action. Leave me alone. Alright. But you have a strong attack, you have a light attack, which is already a little bit different. It's good for getting combos up. And obviously, immediately, there is so many more enemies on the screen than there is in Breath of the Wild. This is the crux of a Muso game, if you've never played one. So, the Warriors games, or the Muso games, as they are called. Let's get that little loopy. Basically, the whole shtick of these games is so many enemies on the screen at once. And you mow through them with a huge sword or just loads of powerful attacks. And the fun of the game is kind of, taking on so many enemies at once, stringing together attacks, and taking on tasks on the map and stuff like that as well. It's not for everyone. Some people find these games a little bit mindless. I wouldn't agree. I think people who think they're mindless have only played the first couple of levels, which are easy. But I do understand. It can feel a bit like you just press one button, but... where'd they go? Where are we going? Can I go this way? But a lot of them, they actually demand a lot of thought. Oh no, wrong way. Yeah. And a lot of care to kind of figure out what it is you're doing, especially this one. Hyrule Warriors had a lot of Zelda elements baked in. Let's do my big boy attack. Whoop. Go on. Yes, mate. Look at that. Oh, that's so satisfying. It had a lot of elements from the Zelda games and items that control differently to just swinging a big sword around. Yeah, cool. Great. So there immediately is a bit of tactical knowledge needed to do things. Also, some enemies are bigger than others. It's not all tiny little weaklings. Yeah, I got it. Go on. And in Age of Calamity, what you're going to find is you've got control of... Yeah, let's go to him. Of the Sheikah Slate, which is actually going to give you... let's move around. A few different moves, and these moves can be used at different points. Dodge. Oh yeah, cool. Let's get a gauge in. Nice. Whoop. Oh, I missed it. Fair play. Done me there. So there is a bit more thought to it. I think, again, people kind of have this preconception of you just smash the attack button. And don't get me wrong, if you really wanted to, you could do that, but you wouldn't do very well in the level, or you wouldn't pass it. So, these games are as mindless as you want them to be. And if you're not paying attention or not playing it the way the game wants you to play it, then you won't be rewarded either. But I do feel this one specifically... Go on, let's get in there. Yes! Really pushes the idea that there's different ways to attack. The different enemies, the different characters you can control with as well, control very differently and do different things. And there's more things to do in the map. So obviously in this one, in case you haven't seen in the trailers beforehand, we can find Koroks, which is super interesting. You can also go to blacksmiths. You can make food. God, let's get these guys. So capturing outposts is a very regular thing in these sorts of games. So most of the old Warriors games, the point of it was to go around the map, capture an outpost, and then go to the next outpost. So that's a pretty staple part of this genre. But as mentioned, this game does change it up quite a lot, and it adds a lot of new stuff to these existing rule sets. So, I mean, I think they're working with their tried and true framework, and I think fans of Warrior games first aren't going to be lost here. But I think they're doing enough for Zelda fans to make it also feel like a Zelda game. This is pretty good meat in the middle. It's a little egg. Poor guy. He did get knocked through time with a laser. That's fair. That'll wipe you out. So if you've played Breath of the Wild as well, this is set in the 100 years before. So we're going to be seeing a lot of characters, but much younger. So we saw Impa as an old lady in Breath of the Wild. She gives Link a lot of the quests that you go on. So it's interesting to see a lot of these characters younger, in their prime. I'm assuming they're teenagers because, you know, as soon as you get to 20s and 30s, you kind of think, well, how would they be alive? But, you know, this is Hyrule. They can be alive if they want to be. They can do whatever they want. So this is also how we start getting into changes.
It's a tower?
See here, what's interesting is little egg boy has gone back in time. He's been powered up with the Sheikah Slate, and he seems to have manifested this tower. So the question is this a different timeline now? Because the towers hadn't been risen before, but the egg, little guardian egg, has made them rise. So is this an alternate timeline? Does this mean that maybe we could actually win in this timeline and Hyrule doesn't have to fall? That moment, which, you know, doesn't seem like much of a spoiler because it's in the first 10 minutes of the game. But that single moment right there that we just saw changes a lot of this story. And also has made me way more intrigued because now I'm thinking, well, maybe I don't know how this is going to end. When this game was announced, I thought, well, obviously they're all going to die in the end, so we know exactly what's going to happen. But immediately, this now seems like a different timeline. Anything's possible. I think we're in some Avengers Endgame side timeline nonsense. And yeah, it just seems now that, like, maybe we can win. Maybe we can change things. Maybe this changes the Breath of the Wild sequel. I don't know how. I don't know if this makes it more or less canon to the Breath of the Wild story. Because now this might be a smart way of saying that, well, actually, this game doesn't take place within the same universe as Breath of the Wild. This is a different timeline. Because in our timeline, that little egg went back, but started a new universe, or a new timeline, if you know what I mean. So the one that the egg escaped is the one we play in Breath of the Wild, where everyone dies. But in going back in time, he set up a new time. You know what I mean. He set up a new timeline. So maybe in this one, the one of the game, we can win. We can stop everything. Like, maybe he gives them the power that they needed to stop Calamity Ganon in the first place. So it's super interesting that they've really just been like, you know what? Do whatever you want. If you want to make them win, if you want to change it completely, like, I'm so excited for this, man. Chuck some bombs. So we're getting a couple of the Sheikah Slate powers now, because Egg Boy has powered up the Sheikah Slate. Yeah, I've done that. Great. Let's get him in. Oh. I should have paused that. Ooh. I'm pressing too many buttons. I'm not pressing the button I want to. Okay. I'm going to try and do Cryonis when he comes for me. I don't think I can actually. Oh no, it's telling me to use the bomb. I see. So quite often with those sorts of enemies, as we saw just then, it'll flash up and it'll let you know what you need to kill it. Which I think it's smart. You know, these games are quick action games and they're not a puzzle game, but you still need to think. So it kind of sidesteps the idea of you really stopping the action and going, oh god, how do I do this? But instead kind of just demands a bit more attention out of you as a player. So, yeah, I mean, maybe, I think some people might find it a bit too easy that the game is like, press this button. But it's not that easy. It's not that easy to do it, and it is still requiring a little bit of patience, a little bit of strategy. So I think it's smart. And obviously, you know, these are huge action games, so there's so many things you can kill. Like, they don't want you to stop attacking at any point, and that's what makes this game fun. And also that's when you start building up combos, that's when you start really getting high scores. Go on. There we go. See, I mean, and it's less about like figuring out how to take one enemy down. It's more about chaining together these moves and doing your best to go from one to the other. And obviously, it's not that easy to just be like, okay, I'll take this guy down, then I need to use the bomb rune, then I need to use the Cryonis rune. It takes a bit of work and it takes a bit of experimentation. Oh, God, what am I doing here? I will say, camera, a bit annoying. Doesn't do everything I want it to do. But I'll forgive it. There's a lot of things going on. And also one thing you might be noticing that I'm not a massive fan of is the frame rate isn't great. I'm not sure how well it's going to convert into the capture, but hopefully you can... Go away. And I'm sure you're going to see this from other previews as well, but frame rate looks to be somewhere between 20s and 30s. Which is fine. I can see what's going on. I don't expect 60 frames per second with 100 enemies on a screen at once. But a locked 30 would have been good. That would have been nice. So who knows? But also that's kind of been the regular thing with Muso games. I don't think they go for frame rate as much as something like Bayonetta because it's not as precise. Oh yeah, see this guy right here, he shows, because he's got a spear, he's not defending, so it shows me what I need to do. So hang on. There we go. So I'm going to use the Cryonis. He's going to get stuck on it. Ah, oh, damn it. Yes. Oh god, it's so satisfying using the paraglider. Let's get this guy. Take it. Whoop. So yeah. If I use the Cryonis there, then he's going to charge into it, and that's going to stop him. One thing I think I will mention is, obviously, when we got the original Hyrule Warriors, it came out on... Oh, Fireworks Rogue. Nice. It came out on the regular 3DS, and then it came out on the new 3DS as well. Alright, mate. Alright. And it came out on the new 3DS as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do see new hardware from Nintendo soon, which I'm not going to go into too much. We probably will. It's been coming up to 4 years since the Switch, and it's already struggling with stuff. I think an improved Switch is not only probable, but I think it's the most sensible thing to do. So maybe next year at some point we're going to have a Switch Advance, a Switch Pro, and we're going to see some noticeable frame rate increases, which would be great. I mean, I'd love that for the original Breath of the Wild as well. That isn't so much of an issue because it's, you know, a lot less involved, but frame rates in the original Breath of the Wild were still a thing to think about. So this captures a lot of the really incredible, bright, painterly style, or the Studio Ghibli style, that Breath of the Wild's known for. You know, they very clearly took inspiration from things like Princess Mononoke, and that kind of informed the previous art style of Skyward Sword, but with, you know, this kind of more Ghibli-esque hue to the colors, to even the designs. I mean, yeah, a lot of this is very, very heavily Ghibli inspired. What am I gonna do with these guys? Let's just take them out. And that art style has been really perfectly recreated here in my mind. Again, it's probably using the same engine and assets and stuff like that. So it's really nice to see Nintendo working so closely with different studios. Because look what's possible. I mean, we've gotten a lot of cool side Zelda stuff, like Four Swords Adventures, like Triforce Heroes, and like Cadence of Hyrule last year. So it's great to see Nintendo really just saying, okay, well, what if we give you the keys? What if we truly said, okay, here's everything you need? And that's great, man, because this game's going to make a lot of people so happy. I don't think it's for everyone, but I think it's more for people that haven't played a Warriors game than any other Warriors game before. Yes, have it. Let's get this guy. Take it. Like, this is really satisfying, man. I'm having a great time with this. I played Hyrule Warriors. This already feels a little bit more involved to me. It feels a little bit more ambitious. Go on. And the original Hyrule Warriors was built with such a reverence for the Zelda universe, but it also was just kind of mental fan fiction. So I'm really happy Nintendo saw how passionate Koei Tecmo were and said, you know, you can add to this story. You are genuinely allowed to take part in this world and add to this story. I think it was a wise choice. And obviously, you know, that makes this a more compelling game. Instead of just running around the place and killing things because it feels good, there's an impetus to this. There's a story, there's a drive, you know. I've seen the events of Breath of the Wild, and now you're telling me I've got a chance to stop it, or I've got a chance to take part in it and see what else happens within that story of one of the best games ever made. It's smart as hell, man. And, you know, it's super interesting to me as well that Nintendo can look at these gaps and say to other people, like, well, we're not going to make a full-scale game for what we see as a smaller story, but you can. There's so many other games that can do this, that, you know, with the Pokemon games, with the Zelda games, with lots of stuff, with Fire Emblem even. It's great to see, like, think of the idea that some people could fill in smaller stories in between. Like, you know, what are the regions between regions in Pokemon? Oh god. When we think about things that are unexplored but still exist, like the Orange Islands and stuff like that, you know. Ooh, yeah, we're doing well. Okay. Oh, I forgot I can swap to Impa, so let's do that so I can show you that. So what I'm going to do, let's... Nope. I thought I could send Link stuff somewhere, yeah. So Impa controls completely differently. She is a ninja. So she can absorb symbols from people. And she can use those symbols... Oh god, she can use those symbols to create attacks. Oh god. Impa is so over the top. It feels fantastic. Oh god, it just feels fantastic, man. It's great. Let's go. Let's get this whiz rope. Where'd the whiz rope go? Ah, yes. So we've just got that weapon as well now. Ah. See, now I can use the Wizrobe's weapon. Oh man, see, there's just so much to it. It's so fun. Okay, so also I can now give orders. So when I go to this map, the allies, yeah. Okay. So we can see where the enemies are. So Link is where I left him, but I'm going to send him over there, whilst I also run over. Yeah, there we go. A little bit like Pikmin. Yeah, okay. Impa's so cool in this. I hope she gets an expanded role in the sequel now. I suppose she's old, isn't she? But yeah, this is just great, man. The amount of love and care put into each of these characters to make them distinct, to give them different abilities and stuff like that is fantastic. Okay, which way was I going? Right. So if you download this demo as well, it's important to note that it's got quite a few levels in it. There's a few hours of gameplay in this demo, I think, if you really push it. And also, all of your progress runs over to the main game. So similar to Pikmin, you can start the game now, and then when you pick it up, you are not having to play the intro again, which is a really smart thing that every single demo should do, every single one. You know, that like the Dragon Quest XI demo, the Octopath Traveler demo. Just do it, guys. Just do it. It's a really smart way of doing things. Get people hooked. What's a couple of hours out of a game if you know it's already like a 100-hour game? Oh god. Incidentally, I played the Control demo. Oh, stop it! Oh, I didn't do anything. How do I get this guy? Am I getting? Oh, yeah, I'm getting this. Okay. Sorry, we're doing a good job. Yeah, I played the Control demo yesterday, the streaming version, the cloud version. It's like 2 minutes long. It's absolutely rubbish. I'm sure it's great, but if I can't play it for more than a few seconds, then it's not really going to get me gripped from your game, is it? I don't know what to tell you. Okay, let's run to those moblins. Let's go. See, there's some moments where the game runs really... Oh, here we go. Look at this pinwheel. What could that be? So yeah, there's Koroks in this game as well, which is absolutely lovely. Look at the little guy. Oh, he's great. I love them. Oh, I need to get some Korok plushes. I want to get. If I had kids, I would A, force them to like Zelda, and B, hide Korok plushes around my house. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, how did that not open? Oh, come on. Let's get it there. Yeah. Oh, it's cause... Oh no, I did it. I got the barrel. Nice. So there is a lot of scope for doing things differently, by the way, guys. Oh, I really enjoy the way Impa plays. Let's open this. Yeah, stop killing him and open the chest. Oh, I've missed it. Oh, rubbish. Oh, okay, there's our moblins. Great. Let's go. You there. Come on. Okay, that's a good flurry rush. Oh god, this feels so good as soon as you start getting the hang of things. Oh, it's my fault I missed that. Got 3 moblins on me, this isn't good. Let's get these guys. Yes! And obviously this is literally the first level, so we're only taking on bokoblins and moblins. We've already seen quite a few different playable characters. We've even seen in the latest trailer you can play as the Divine Beasts, which is just incredible news. Let's swap back to Link. Oh, sorry, Impa, just left you getting killed there. So there's going to be a lot of different content in this, and the last Warriors game, Hyrule Warriors, the regular one, had hundreds of hours of gameplay. So I think there's going to be so many different things to do. I think this is just going to be so rewarding for Zelda fans. And, you know, a lot of Zelda fans returned with Breath of the Wild. We have to remember that. A lot of people didn't own Wii's or Wii U's, so... Go on, get in there. Breath of the Wild was the first one that a lot of people have played in a long time. So it's just wonderful that Nintendo have not only seen that, you know, Breath of the Wild is very open to being expanded upon, but doing it not only in a sequel, but giving other companies the opportunity to add to this. Like, we're gonna, you know, at some point when we get Breath of the Wild 2, we're gonna have 3 Breath of the Wild games, and that's just wonderful. That's really lovely. Imagine something like that with Ocarina of Time. So, stage bonus, absolutely fantastic. Leveled up a load, got a load of coins. Oh, that's great. I can choose from some weapons. Yeah, let's get that one. That's great as well. Nice. I got loads of cool cooking ingredients, which I can use later on. Cool, right. I'm not going to go too much further. Oh, God. Let's watch this and see what happens.
Guardian. And a mysterious tower.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it, but we have little hope of figuring this out on our own.
Oh, that little egg guy is so cute. I don't know why they didn't do an amiibo of Guardian Egg. They would have got my money.
Stop right there!
Really annoyingly. They might do at some point. Here she is, the legend herself.
Each of you has served your kingdom admirably. Huh.
I love the Zelda design. I think she looks great.
I made it. I'm glad you're safe, Impa.
Yes, Your Highness.
Well, I
And
think all of the
received
character
a
designs in
Sheikah
Breath of the
slate
Wild are
from
pretty
Cora.
good.
Oh,
No, Egg, don't do it.
Oh, what is that?
Your Highness.
Oh, he's so cute. I love him.
The Sheikah slate conveyed the little guardian's purpose. This anomalous visitor had traveled from a future of ruin, a time in the midst of the Calamity, to save Princess Zelda.
See, this is so interesting.
Impa proposed recruiting Pura and Robbie, renowned researchers of ancient technology, to study the Guardian and investigate the mysterious tower that had appeared on Hyrule Field. King Rome of Hyrule gave his assent.
I love it. I love it. Immediately within the first level being told that this isn't quite the same story, you know, things can change, things can be done differently. Ah, it's so good. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys, because I don't want to ruin too much more of the demo or the story in case people want to play it. But this has been about the first half an hour of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity coming out. I'm going to find out when it comes out right now. Age of Calamity. When we talking? November 20th. There we go. I thought I knew it. So yeah, this comes out November 20th. This looks like a really fantastic way to carry on the story of Breath of the Wild, and also a smart way of telling the story of that big war, because this was a huge war with loads of people playing, loads of people taking part. So this is a smart use of genre to tackle that. And this looks like a really cool melding of Zelda and a Warriors game again, but with a little bit more Zelda this time. And an actual story. So, you know, this is really smart. I think it plays really well. I think it looks fantastic. And the fact that the story could be different is what's really interesting. You know, will this end up being something to actually do with the Breath of the Wild sequel? Will we get some sort of correlation between them? Will this change the way that that game plays? Who knows? But I'm super excited. I can't wait to get my hands on this, and I hope that this little preview has helped sell you. But also, you can download this demo for yourself, and as I mentioned, all of the progress carries over to the main game when you buy that. So, you haven't really got any reason not to, but if you couldn't be bothered, then I hope this little first impressions has sold you a little bit. I've had a great time with it. I'm looking forward to this so much more than I already was, and I was already pretty hyped. This is definitely my game of the holidays right now. But that's mainly because I'm not getting a PS5. But this looks great. You know, Nintendo fans, we've had a great year already, but this looks like a really nice way to top it off and get us ready for Breath of the Wild 2 when that comes out. So anyway, thank you for watching, guys. This was a preview from us, the guys at Switch Player Magazine. Obviously, if you enjoyed this, you can go on over to our Patreon and you can sign up and you can find our monthly little magazine and get it delivered to your door. You can also find us at switchplayer.net, and you can buy Switch Player Magazine digitally after the fact if you want to. And yeah, that's kind of it. Thank you for watching. And also, we're making more videos, so do feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch our new podcast, which we've been doing every Sunday. We're working hard, we're making a lot of stuff, and we really hope you're all enjoying it. So anything you can give us in terms of a couple of likes and a couple of follows, we really appreciate. So thank you. We're going to have more news very soon, I'm sure. And in the meantime, have a great time gaming, guys. Thank you very much.